Good evening. It's Monday. Welcome to my studios. All right. We went from enslavement to mass incarceration, and I was the lab rat. I went to jail in 2 states to prove the point about your corruption in your prison industry behind mass incarceration, the war on drugs, N62528. Google me. I'm not hard to find. I'm the toilet bomber in Baltimore. The state of Maryland made it legal for me to shit on politicians. So I'm running with that. I'm selling toilets in 2026, and I'm raising money for my movie, Let Us Design and Get Shorty. This is the story. Truth speaking to power. That's my mother, Corrine Davis. On February the 2nd, she died from cancer. On February the 7th, y'all locked me up. It's the 90 days of session, and these is your mail cards, all right? See who that is? So we don't have no misunderstandings. That's Trina from Out for Justice. And it's the 80 days, 90 days of session. And it's 2026. All right, 2026. I'm not Emmett Till. I'm giving you what Martin Luther King gave me, public accommodations. Y'all talked about crossing the bridge. Well, I was there too. All right. Martin Luther King, John Lewis, and Mosiah. That's Marcus Garvey. And that's Governor Westmore, Maryland Strong. That's Michelle Alexander. She wrote the book, The New Jim Crow. Well, I made the movie. That's Senator Smith and Shorty. That's the Maryland Legislative Black Caucus. And these are our elected officials. All right. And that's Malcolm Ruff. On February the 2nd, 2011, I blew the whistle. And it's right there. Malcolm Ruff worked for State's Attorney Scott Schellenberger. That's a legal notice. Baltimore City, Baltimore County, and Lake County, Illinois. All right. And it's illegal. I left this toilet in front of the school board because y'all was shining them on. Like I said, that's Martin Luther King. That's Dr. K. And y'all standing for CASA, but then you ain't open your mouth about me. You feel me? See the big picture here? That's Dr. K, bending towards social justice. We talking about public accommodations. So I put it in a book. That's the Legacy Museum. We went from enslavement to mass incarceration. So I put it in a book. I put it in Facebook, social media for social change. I don't need 1 million people to march. I need 1 million people to pay attention. That's Mark Twain. I Huckleberry Finn y'all. I let y'all paint the fence. And I use the toilet. Like I said, Maryland Volunteer Lawyers for the Arts, Mark Twain, and the camera. We're going to see who get the golden apple. Because that's Dr. K from the Karson Institute. That's Dr. K. That's the Maryland Volunteer Lawyers for the Arts. That's Kaylin Young. And that's Kaylin Young. See the big picture here? We're going to play the tapes like Watergate. That's Senator Antonio Brown. No, that's Antonio Brown, the Attorney General. He was Lieutenant Governor when I started this. Gansler was the Attorney General. We talking about Illinois and Maryland. Dred Scott, 2026. That's Michael Waller, Scott Schellenberger. That's Jessamy, Bernstein, Mosby, and Bates. That's Merrill Malley, Dixon, Stephanie Rawlins, Blake, Jack Young, and Pugh and Scott. We're going to fill in the pages because I'm going to give you what I got. Same thing make you laugh, gonna make you cry. Michelle Alexander wrote the book. I made the movie. That's Mary Washington. Like I said, y'all going to vote. Maryland Volunteer Lawyers for the Arts. That's Governor Westmore. That's the Dems. That's Embry. And that's Delegate Forbes. Y'all need the RSVP. March 16th. District 43. We're going to talk about our conversation about Dred Scott. Because you've been sitting in that seat for the longest and you ain't opened your mouth. I got a right to property, to be secure in my property. You took an oath to defend the Constitution, not the machine. That black girl magic caused a lot of black men pain. So we're going to talk about it. It's Women's History Month. I'm Shorty, the cook, the best of the best since 1999. That's me and Corey McCrae. Like I said, we counting the days down. That's 2026. Maryland Citizens for the Arts. And y'all know who she is. That's Kwesi Mfume. He asked for an investigation with Jim Jordan in the House Judiciary Committee. Y'all ain't did it yet. That's David Smith. All right? That's David Smith. That's Peter Francott. That's Governor Larry Hogan. That's Mosby. And that's Michael Waller from Illinois. Like I said, I was making a movie. And you go to David Tron to get my paperwork. Knowledge makes a man unfit to be a slave. That's the Lake County Board right there. And those are contract tips. All right. A checklist for clients. And that's the Baltimore Banner. Talking about public accommodations. Right there. That's public accommodations. That's the whistleblower 2015. That's the controller of Maryland. And that's Kwa'ise Mfume. You feel me? That's Kwa'ise Mfume. Y'all seen him today in front of the immigration building with Karson and Sergio and Mayor Brandon Scott. You stand for Casa. Well, it's time for you to stand for me. There was a lynching in Baltimore. Y'all tried to hang me. Matter of fact, you hung me out to dry. But like I said, I applied for Martin Luther King's job. I'm sitting on the porch. You feel me? I'm sitting on the porch. And it's all right here. That's Dr. Karson. That's the movie release. All right? And you can check out Dr. Karson's and see for yourself. That's President Biden. That's Dr. Karson's. That's Dr. Karson's. And right here makes it legal in any state in this country. You feel me? That's notarized. That makes it legal. A movie about Baltimore and the Democrats. And that's me on CNN. All right? That's me on CNN. News at 11. I'm an activist in Baltimore. And that's me and Zion with the toilet in the truck. The toilet and the truck. Only thing missing is my truck. I still got that same crooked smile.